All right, we should be live.
Boom, boom, bam. Looks like we're live and rolling.
Live and across the world.
Kevin shared us out. Thanks, Kevin. Guys, we're here with Joe Walton from 812 Catfishing. Joe catches some monsters. I get a lot of advice from Joe. His channel link's in the description. I don't think he put out any videos in a while, have you, Joe? Just
No, I have not. I feel bad for it, but I've had to take care of some things, as y'all can tell, sitting in my semi in South Carolina.
Yeah, Joe had to go to truck driving to pay the bills. But
well, I did it years ago. And I got off the road for 5 years and wasn't necessarily pay the bills. I got to get the boat squared away. I do have to pay some bills, but I've got an end goal, and I've always told people, if you want it, you got to go get it. So, you know, if I can't practice what I preach, what good am I? So here I am. I'm gonna make it happen. And when I come back, I'm gonna come back twice as hard.
There you go. But for sure, y'all check out Joe's channel. I've learned a lot watching his videos. Learned a lot. Me and Joe actually became friends on YouTube. I started watching his videos and commenting, and then we ended up getting to be Facebook friends. And now we talk to each other, 3 or 4 times a week, probably.
Easy, yeah. He keeps me grounded when I get aggravated. He talks some sense into me.
I try. I don't know if there's a whole lot of talking sense into you or not, but yeah.
It definitely helps though, man. You know, it's not easy out here, you know, and it's nice to have good friends that you can call them, they're going to be there. So, you know, hey, that's where it's at.
Joe, that's such an important thing, having people that you can kind of relate to a little bit, and having those
Sure.
people you kind of, those good friends that you can pretty much say anything to, and you know they're gonna be an ear to listen, and so that's great. That's great.
Yeah, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, but I don't have like a whole lot of close people, but the ones I do talk to, I consider, you know, there's a reason. So, but yeah, hey, don't let Ryan sit there in Buffalo, y'all. I've learned some stuff from him too, guys. I promise. He's becoming the dragon master, man. I'm feeling kind of invaded here, man, because that's my thing, and Ryan's taking it to a whole nother level.
That's awesome.
Water.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I just go out and cover water and put as many baits out there as I can stand to watch or deal with, and cover as much water as possible about 3/4 of the time.
And I found. Keep going.
You know what they say? It's better to be lucky than good any day, though.
Hey, guys, that's where it comes with dragging. I drag a lot because, you know, I've made these videos, and you guys, I've been blessed. I've caught some really big fish. When I started my YouTube channel, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. It was trot lines and limb lines and chicken liver, you know, and I just gradually, you know, I watched people on YouTube, guys I watch, you know, and I'd take a little bit of their technique and a little bit of this guy's technique. And then I learned about planer boards, and it was just so interesting to me. It's like, you know, everybody has their own thing, but planer boards is what seriously interests me. And my buddy, you guys see me fish with him, Adam Free. He may be watching this. I don't know. I talked to him earlier. Me and Adam, you know, when we started tournament fishing, we didn't have a clue, you know, and I wanted to, when I went in this tournament gig, you know, I didn't want to be the best, but I wanted to push it and go get it. You know, I wanted to do what them guys was doing. I didn't necessarily want to beat them. I wanted to know how they was doing it. And, you know, I wanted to be in the same caliber as them, because I'm no better than anybody else. when you guys see me pull a 50 or a 60, or, you know, see Ryan pull a 70 up, you know, there's technique to it. You got to put it where the fish are, but, you know, to me, it's a luck thing. They're either going to take it or they're not.
And we had some awesome people come in. Let's just do some quick shout outs to get that started. Fishing with Paula Smith was out there first. We got Lizabella KT. How's it going, Liz? James K from Baltimore is out there. Catfish Headhunters. Norm, how you doing? Fishing with the Chad. Cody Robinson. Palmetto Cats. Kevin, how are you? Dale Hayslit. Half Century Catfishing. What's up? Rattle Trap. How's it going, Rattle Trap? James K. There we go. There we go. Sandy Creek. How are you? Catfish Cruise. Bluegrass State of Mind. Paul Boyd, how are you? How are you? And my good friend Dan, Green Machine Outdoors. You're talking about dragon. He was actually talking about Ryan last night even. Dan and I were out there last night, and I've said it many times before. I love being proved wrong. Dan and I were doing some dragon last night, and I'm just amazed when I have found with Dan especially that when the fish are, when it's that tough bite where it anchored and you got that bait sitting there and they'll just sit there and look at it, look at it, look at it. But you're dragging and you're putting that nice piece of bait, even in front of inactive fish. I think sometimes it triggers that instinct of, hey, if that food's going by, and they just go out and strike at it. So I think dragging is up. Yeah. Like I said, I was never a big fan of it, but I start doing things with Dan and I'm like, yep, you proved me wrong again, Dan.
One of my favorite things to do, man. All-time favorite thing to do is drag.
It is awesome. And just so everybody knows out there, Setting Hooks, Crust and Ice, how are you? If Joe can't read, he doesn't have the chat, able to read the chat. So if you have any questions for Joe, make sure you put a little question mark or something there, point it out to us so we can get the question to him so we can answer it for you.
All right, Joe, why don't you tell you into fishing? What got you started?
Man, you know, I've always had a love for fishing. When I was younger, I mean, if there was a piece of water anywhere, I wanted to know if it had fish in it. Didn't care what it was, from creek chubs to bass to bluegill, and later on, it just evolved into catfishing. You know, with my dad. My dad was always huge on the catfishing. You know, but back then, you know, it was fishing for food. So, you know, that's what we did. I did it like Daddy taught me, you know, trot lines, limb lines, you know, channel catch and chicken liver. And I've slowly evolved, you know, became educated, I guess you could say. And it's just for me right now, it's not the actual, for me, it's not catching the fish. That's not where it's at for me, you know. For me, it's the anticipation. You know, at some point, if you keep trying, you keep pushing, you keep digging, eventually you're going to lock into that monster and the fight's on. And man, it's like having a pit bull on the other end.
Joe, I got a question for you. Since you've been in both worlds.
Sure.
I think myself personally, I think there's room for coexistence. You know, because there's if you do the trot lines and the limb lines and all that. My family originally from Louisiana, so I grew up with the same thing, running trot lines and limb lines, and but I think if it's, since like I said, you've been in both worlds, how do you think? What do you think about that? You think that there could be some coexistence there? There
could, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I put fish in the freezer. You guys will see me catch a ton of fish. You know, when I'm cranking out videos, you'll see me catch fish if I'm having good nights. It might have took me 3 or 4 days to make that one video, you know, the magical world of editing. That's just how it works. But you guys, I'll keep channel cats, you know. I don't keep a lot of blues or flatheads. I won't kill a flathead. I just won't. I don't have the heart to do it. You know, each to his own, but I can't do it. Now, channel cats, they're on my hit list. That's just the way it is. I keep a lot of fish, but as far as coexistence, there needs to be some sustainability. You know, I don't have a problem. If you want to run jugs, that's fine. But there has to be sustainability. You know, when people say, well, there's no fish over here, we can't catch fish out of this stuff. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, you fished it out. It's plain and simple. There has to be sustainability. There has to be integrity. You know, don't catch your limit and hide them under your boat and then go catch another limit. I mean, whatever blows your hair back. But if you sleep good at night knowing you're in the wrong, you know, I mean, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There has to be integrity and sustainability in the whole thing, or it's going to be hard to coexist.
Right back.
If that makes sense. It does to me anyways, in my messed up world.
No, absolutely.
It,
Yeah. I
hey,
think you have to
actually,
pull
I
some
can see
fish
some
out.
comments. Do what, Ryan?
You can.
It just popped up. Sean Bell asked a question. Shows you how long I've been out of the loop.
I did that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Welcome, Dan. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So,
Heard about dragging baits.
I guess Stan kind of answered this for you a minute ago, Dan, but we'll start with you and we'll all four answer this question for Sean here. He wants to know, how's your fishing changed now that the water temps dropped? So we'll start with Dan and work our way around and let everybody answer it.
I'm still trying to figure it out. But, you know, it feels like we've just had such a cold front move in so early this year that the fish are just kind of not really sure what's going on, or at least I'm not on the water enough to really figure out what's going on and nail down any patterns. But it just seemed like as soon as they get used to the cold water, it heats up a couple degrees. And then once they get used to that, we get a cold front moving through and it's 27 every night. And we just had a whole week where it was in the 30s and now it's in the 60s every day. And I wish it would make up its mind and then we could finally figure out what to do. But my problem is I'm only getting out on the weekends. So 5 or 6 days go by and things change.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that 1 degree in
I think you broke up there. At least I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either.
We lost your audio, Ryan. We couldn't hear what you said.
Ryan, you're broken.
I'm broken.
You're broken.
You were starting to ask a
All right.
question and then
Right?
He's broken
I guess
again.
what he was trying to say is, Joe, go ahead. Why don't you answer that same question now that the temperatures are getting a little different?
Well,
Is there
I
anything
think
you're
what we're
doing?
getting at is you can have a 1 degree change in temperature. Guys, a half a degree can make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. I mean, like he said with the cold front coming in, when it comes in hard like that, hard and fast, it's like shell shock. It takes them a minute to adapt and get back to their routine, however they're going to handle themselves in that temperature or in that type of weather pattern.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off there, but I'm really hoping somebody grabbed a screenshot of Ryan there. That was a perfect freeze frame.
I'll remind him about it tomorrow.
And real easy.
Yeah, and there he goes. He's gone. Ryan will be right back. And just like what Dan was saying, it has been here in the James, and a lot of the East Coast here has been going through the same kind of thing, where it's just been roller coaster. We get cold front, warm front. Our kind of the fall just kind of was gone. We didn't even really have that fall transition. It just went from like summer, got a little cooler, and then bam, it was winter temperatures, then summer temperatures, then fall, then winter. Then it was just, matter of fact, we were joking yesterday, if you go out on a trip here, you got to bring clothes for all 4 seasons because it's going through that big of changes every day. So But
I
yeah,
think my truck said here today 78 degrees,
That's crazy.
and I'm in South Carolina. Yeah, I'm in South Carolina.
I think I saw somebody today in Ohio that had I think they said it was 70 or upper 60,
Yeah.
70, something like that. And the fish are like us. If that's they want to be comfortable, so they're going to feed in their comfort zone. They're going to, and if things are changing, going back and forth, they can't, they can't find. That's why you hear people talk about patterns, because that fish can't. Their brain doesn't think like we do. They have one. They react. They're instinctual, and
Where's food? I want food.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more like a fish than a human. Where's food? I want food now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Man.
Coming back now. Well, I was.
What is up?
Mike, how's it going?
It's going well. I wanted to hop in here because I got a question for Joe.
Uh-oh.
All right. Joe, I have not fished in the kayak. I fished in the kayak once since October 16th. I got skunked. It was terrible. I was up in a back creek. Shouldn't have been there. Tomorrow I'm going fishing on the Ohio River for the first time in over a month. I completely missed out on patterning the fish during the transition. Where should I be going? Deep, shallow, back creek? Tell me the secrets.
The secret.
Because we fish similar waters. So this is actually a great opportunity for me to ask a question.
Right now, the back creeks, the only time you're going to catch me on the back creeks is in wintertime when it's flooded, when the big water has the little water pushing backwards.
Yep.
And then on into the springtime, because the flathead bite can be absolutely just amazing in springtime, right up to when flatties start to spawn, because I've caught some monster flatheads. But right now, I mean, with the way the weather is right now, honestly, I'd start looking on the flats. I would start on the flats, and I would slowly work my way up. That's what I do every time. I start in one place and I stick and move. And if I don't find them shallow, I'll start working my way onto the mud flats. And if they're not on the flats, if you drag the flats for a little bit or work the flats for a little bit and you ain't got nothing, you're not going to get nothing. And work your way to work your way on out to the ledges instead of bouncing from here to there to over here to here. Start one way and slowly just keep working your way out.
Gotcha.
I start at a bank and I slowly work out into the river, and until I start seeing fish on the depth finder. I mean, I'm not perfect. I can't look at a depth finder and go, that's a blue cat, that's a flathead, that's an Asian carp. I really don't. Some people say they can. Maybe they can. I ain't got that kind of magic, but right now, if it was me right now, I haven't been fishing in a little bit based off where I fish at in the Ohio River. I would probably start around 30 foot and work my way in.
I'm glad you just said that, because that's like exactly the depth I'll be at tomorrow. Deepest is 50 around here. Like if you find 50.
Honestly, I would start at your ledge. Try to find a ledge in 30 feet. Work that ledge however you choose to do it, and then work my way in.
Got it.
And then, but all in all, you just really, what I do, I try to think outside the box and figure out, it's cold now. This is the time of year. Where do I need to look for them? And I really start racking my brain, especially if it's like 12 p.m. or 12 noon and the tournament's on. I'm really going to have to start digging. So I really start panicking then. But I had a pretty blessed year, so I can't complain. We did all right.
Let's see.
For a couple rednecks.
There was a question out on the panel. I think it was Norm, Catfish Headhunters, was asking, are we ever going to see you in the kayak?
Me?
That's what Norm said.
Oh, no, never. Ryan's done tried that, boys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it needs a motor on it for me. I'm a lazy fisherman, guys. I like my boat.
And we had some more awesome people jump in here. Carolina Real Screamers, how you doing? Fishing with Squirrel, Gene Tillman, Sandy Creek, I think I said hello before. Setting hooks, crossing eyes, Fat Boy Fishing.
I'm trying to think of a name you said earlier. I know the guy. I've talked to him. I've emailed him back and forth. I can't remember his YouTube name to save my life. It's Kentucky something.
Was it
Bluegrass State of Mind.
There you go.
That one? Yeah.
Yep.
Him and I, he wants to do a collaboration video, and I really want to do the video with him. I've just got to find the time to do it. We've talked back and forth. I don't want him thinking I forgot about him, because when I say I'm going to do something, I do everything in my power to do it. So I do want to do a collaboration video with him. And Ryan and I have one planned as well, if he can get me out of this truck long enough.
Yeah, you made Norm laugh out there. He was laughing.
Had one planned for like 2.
What'd he say?
I said we've had one planned for like 2 years now, and
it's happening, guys. It's happening this winter. It's happening. I promise everybody. Y'all hold me to it. Ryan, it's happening soon.
In a kayak?
No.
No.
Unless he's willing to paddle with me sitting on his lap, hugged onto his neck, it ain't happening. He'd probably do it just to prove a point.
I've tried real hard. He's not calling for that one.
Now, the reason I won't get in the kayak is I've had vertigo spells from time to time, and it worries me about being in a kayak. So the truth be known, that's why I won't do it. If it wasn't for that, I would not be opposed to it at all, because it looks fun as can be. I'd love to, but I know my limitations, and I don't want to push it that far, you know.
I understand that completely. I would love to get in a kayak, and you know, eventually I'm trying to work towards it, and we'll see what happens.
You know, but, and I may eventually, you know, if I went out with Ryan or, you know, Mike or whoever that, you know, knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing in a kayak, and I'm out of my element.
You bring up a great point there, and I think everybody up here would agree with me. If you have not done that before, don't go and jump in there and start and say, I'm going to hit the James River or the Tennessee. Yeah. You know, go to a pond, go with somebody that like Ryan or Mike or Dan or somebody like that has had experience out there fishing. Start in a small body of water. I think a lot of times we overestimate. I've been in a little boat, or I've been in this, and a kayak is just a whole new ball game. So.
Oh, it amazes me. These guys, they go out there, and I mean, I know what it's like out there in my boat. My boat's a heavy boat. It'll handle some stuff. These guys are out there in kayaks riding in that same stuff.
When people see me out there on the Ohio River in my kayak, they're like, "You're absolutely insane."
No, I couldn't. I don't know. You know, maybe in the wintertime, you know, when on the lake or something like, where there's boats aren't out or something, because I'd get a little foot roller coming at me. I'd start freaking out.
Well, I've seen Dan and Stan 3 sleeping out there in the kayak. So no, not I. You won't be seeing me do that. But and that's just not kayak. That's you know, even if you're going to John boat, whatever. If it's something your first time doing it, work your way into it. Go with somebody that's experienced. Water is lack of respect for the waterways, I think, is one of the key safety factors that you'll see a lot of people every year that just overestimate their or underestimate the power of water. And
water has no feelings, guys. It has no feelings. It'll get you if you don't respect it.
Mother Nature's undefeated.
That's right.
Good point. Hey, we've got epic catfish out there. Look at this group of professional catfishermen. Thank you. There's somebody you know out there, Ryan. There's Lucky Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah, Stan said you'll never catch
What's
him
up,
sleeping
Ronnie?
in a kayak. That's because Stan doesn't sleep.
Yeah, well, this is true. That's true. Kayak, big boat, I don't care. If I'm out there fish, I'm awake.
Yeah, I will absolutely crash out in my boat, but I make sure like my boat at night, I can leave my my lights I use to film and stuff on. I can leave them all night, and my boat will still start in the morning. So I leave my lights and stuff on at night if I'm going to rack out, or else I'm somewhere tucked away. I know nobody's going to get to me because I get back in some pretty gnarly stuff to catch the flatheads and stuff that I do. That's why my boat's broke.
I may have fell asleep on the kayak while dragging baits on a lake, and I woke up when I hit the shore. And I had a fish on. It's on video. I had a fish on, and I was sleeping, trolling, or dragging baits.
Golly, Ned. No,
Is this video posted on your channel? That's what people want to know.
Did
I've
I post
seen
it? I can't
It's at
remember
least
if I
on
have it on the
Facebook or
channel.
something.
I posted it to Facebook for sure.
I
might be
would
able to
like to
find it
see
there.
that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. You can hear me snoring, and you see the rod bouncing, and then all of a sudden you hear my propeller on my trolling motor it's hitting a rock, going click, 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 and I wake up and I'm like, whoa! I apparently fell asleep.
Gosh.
It's definitely worth looking up. Definitely worth it.
Let me see if I could go find it.
I just got done doing a bunch of wiring on my boat. I'm excited to take it out. Rod rack lights and underwater green lights.
I knew that was
Nice.
coming. I knew
Guys,
Dan
don't
would.
look at my rod rack when I come back out because I've only crushed it 2 or 3 times, and I take it off and I bend it back and I put it back on. Yeah. I've
Well,
got to
you've gotta
replace
be-
the gimbal. I got to replace the gimbal bearing bracket, the gimbal bearing housing bracket, and I blew my lower unit out.
Oof.
I could get used stuff, but I've already put, right about $3,000 into having a brand new motor, having the motor rebuilt. I got a brand new motor in my boat. But if I'm going to go through all that, why buy used stuff or try to find parts? I'm just going to buy the new stuff. You get what you pay for, and I'm going to put new stuff back in it because I'm fairly certain I'm probably going to break it again. So,
Get a
I
warranty.
want new stuff in it.
Okay, Kayak Mike
Grow
posted that Facebook
There.
link out there.
Y'all just made me smile, man.
What's going on, Joe? How you doing, buddy?
Brother, how are you doing, man? I'm doing great. I'm flourishing.
I'm doing great, brother. How about
Mike?
yourself, man? I'm glad to hear you're doing good, brother. I'm glad to hear you're doing good.
I'm ready to go fishing.
Well,
I
come on,
really
let's
am.
go. Let's go.
I'm ready to go. It's guys, it's coming down to I'm fixing to break loose because I've just had enough. I'm ready to go.
Guarantee it. I guarantee it.
But it's working out. Me being out here, guys, it's taking care of things. We're getting where we need to be. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know, my wife just had some emergency surgery. We about lost her. And, but all that's in the past. She's good. She's up moving and stuff. And, we're moving forward. So now we're going to focus on, we're going to get through Christmas and stuff here. We're getting stuff knocked down, and, we're going to get the boat back in order, and hopefully I won't have to stay out here forever, because this is a temporary thing for me. I don't want to be out here. I want to be back home doing what 812 does.
Well, we sure miss watching 812 do what 812 do.
Most of the time what 812 does is luck. I luck into it. I hope and pray, and it works.
You can say it's luck all you want, but when you put enough time out on the water, you're going to run into them.
Well,
Yeah.
Mike, you bring up a good point right there. I really don't think that there's of course there's that luck where on a piece of bubble gum in the 4th full moon of the year you get into a whatever. But luck most of the time is being out there, being prepared, being in the right spot, just using your instincts and things you've learned to put yourself in the right spots for that luck, as it's called. But yeah, I think that luck is more preparation and being out there than anything else.
Yeah, because I can tell you, I've never reeled one in from my chair here.
I agree, Mike. I agree. I said that though one time. I said, you can't catch. I said it a bunch of times. You can't catch fish from your couch, and I will be out there fishing. Then John Euler had to go out and prove me wrong. He moved his dang living room set right out next to the river, and he was out there fishing from his couch. So I was proven wrong, but.
Oh, that's awesome.
If I could figure out how, I would have a full couch on the front of my boat.
I may be able to get one in my boat.
Just need a pontoon boat.
And first of all, we're super glad to hear. Thank God that wife's doing better, and
thank you.
On the man, that's we get to talk about this fishing and all this stuff, but family is first and foremost. So that's awesome to hear. We're so glad that's going well.
There you go. Palmetto says, "I've got a couch you can catch them from." He's got that pontoon ready to go. I'm super envious of anybody with an enclosure right now.
Oh, we was out Friday in my buddy's brand new Hughes Craft or whatever boat.
Oh wow!
It had that full enclosure.
Yeah.
I came home and told the wife. I said, I'm gonna need one of them.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and mortgage the house if you don't mind, hon, because I gotta have that.
www.onlyfans.com.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see this fat boy.
Adam, now the polar craft that Adam, my tournament partner, bought, I'm gonna tell you, he's one of my good friends too. That 21-foot polar craft, man, that's a nice boat.
I like it.
It's sturdy, it's safe, huge live well. I mean, plenty of room. Yeah, I think that actually, helped us step our game up a little bit this summer.
Ain't that what you got, Dan?
Yeah, it's not the catfish edition, so it's got like maybe a 30 or 40 gallon live well, but they didn't make it now with huge live wells in them. I
think if I'm saying it right, the 2010, Outlander. Yep, 2010 Outlander. I think it's nice. It's. I'm glad he bought it for me.
We call it Stan's office.
That's right. Let's not get carried away there, Joe. We've had some more awesome people out there. There's Lucky Ronnie. He's been out there tonight. Mrs. Catfish Regulators, how you doing? Whiskers and Stripes. Whiskers and Stripes says he's switching back to the stripes. Hasn't been on them since July. Okay, so I think we're caught up out there.
I was going to say, Ryan, if you pull up that screen I'm sharing real quick, I got to get out of here, but I could share that video, the part where I hit shore, real quick. All right.
There you
this
go.
This is from Facebook. I'm about to hit the shore.
This is beautiful.
Oh. That's my prop just grinding. That's my prop just grinding. And there's a fish on. There's a fish on in the back.
Oh my God.
I love it. You dipping your pole in the water on the other side.
I about fell over when I seen that video. I was like, at least he was the first one to do it before me.
Where'd you do that at?
That was on Calvin Lake.
Thank goodness it was a lake and not the river.
Well, I won't sleep on the river.
Calvin Lake, Ohio.
Gotta go. Love you guys.
Later. He said Calvin Lake.
Cohen and Ohio.
I was just up there the other day. I remember going past that.
Now, there's a guest that knows how to make an exit. See ya. Mike Palmetto Cat says, hashtag blooper of the year. You never know. Could be a candidate.
I think I nominated that on the website to the Whisker Awards group. I'm pretty sure I did post that.
I don't know. I'm kind of preferential to the Diver Dan segment, but that's just me. Bluegrass State of Mind wanted to say, Joe, he said, we'll get together 8/12. Don't sweat it.
It's gonna happen, and Ryan's probably gonna come down and drag me out of the house or the truck one if I don't get in gear.
I'm gonna catch him. He delivers right down here by my work. I'm just gonna catch him down there one day and steal his keys. I'm gonna tell him they're all my.
I'm down there. I haven't been down there much this week, man. I've been running the Carolinas and Georgia and stuff here this week, but usually, man, I'm down there. My goodness, every other day at least.
Yeah.
And I see there's one of the most awesome anglers I know out there, fishing with Paula Smith. How's it going, Paula? Hope you're doing well. We've been praying for you, so
Amen.
hope that.
I talked to her. Hey, she seemed to be up in spirits pretty good today when I talked to her. She's just like always on me to get down there and fish with her. I'm dying to get down there. Monsters down there where she's at. And her boat has an enclosure.
How many people can fit in that?
Well, if you ask Paula, she'll say as many as we can fit.
We fished 3 out of it at Mad Jackson, no problem. I mean, me and her and Pill and Drag fished out of there and had all the room. She was laying in the back of the boat asleep half the tournament.
That Polar Craft Adams, he's got an enclosure on it. I think what would you call it? Maybe like a half enclosure. He don't have the back for it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to see some pictures of that because that's on my to-do list.
I was gonna say I know what's going on the boat next.
Yeah. I'd love to see how he's got that set up so I can steal some ideas.
Yeah, actually, everything came from the factory. Well, I'll tell you what I do though. I'll have him send me some pictures, and I'll get them to Ryan. Ryan can get them over to you or something.
That'd be awesome.
Or if you watch it on my channel, I'm pretty sure I filmed few videos out of that before I got back into driving the truck. You can see, probably a few things on that. But I'll definitely get some pictures over to Ryan.
Alrighty.
I think what I used for a thumbnail picture on this might have been on that boat. I'm not sure.
It was actually, yeah, it was. That was I caught that fish in a thunderstorm, man. I mean, 8 o'clock in the morning, it was gnarly out, and boat was spinning in circles. Fish take it one way, wind and lightning, rain take it the other way. It got bad.
That's fun fishing there.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the Bart Zimmerman. The Bart Zimmerman up there at Leavenworth. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, that was some pretty rough weather that day up around you guys.
Yeah, wasn't you fishing down River of us that day?
Yep.
I thought so. Yeah, that's the day we caught that 56 and a 67.
Yep.
That was a great day.
Y'all did really well that day.
We we was dragging in about 0.9 mile current. We was barely able to do it, but we all got them on mud flats.
That's my favorite place to fish.
Man, sometimes sometimes they're there, and then like that little 1 degree change in weather, it's like they just vanish. Like it's a dead zone. We've got, I had to start my truck up, but he's set up with the electronics. He's got that Garmin, the Garmin 4-stroller motor, and he's got the 107 for electronics, and we've got all our routes and everything that we always fish because they have worked out for us. We'll go in there sometimes, and where they was, 2 days before, it's just like they magically disappear. The water will come up, 2.5 inches, and they're gone.
I went out when I first got my big boat going back again and got it rigged out. I went out and I caught like 30 dinks in one day. Well, it was a lot warmer than it was supposed to be, and it was getting warmer for the next day. So I said, I'll take Lindsay tomorrow. So we got a babysitter, and I took Lindsay out the next day, you know, just to take her out and wear the dinks out and have a good day. Went out there and out. Nothing changed. Nothing was any different. Done the same thing with the same bait, skunked out.
That's the way it works. I'll do the same thing. I'll be killing them, and I'll tell my buddies, like, man, come on, you got to get with me. We're gonna go slock some monsters tonight. Yeah, we didn't do nothing. We catch a bunch of sleep and waste a bunch of money because they were just gone.
My favorite way to fish the mud flats is in the wintertime when you water temperatures start getting down to like 35, 36, 37 degrees. And then you have a good, warm, sunny day that comes in and it's like 60 out after it's been cold for a long time. Take that warm, sunny day and you hit those shallow mud flats and drag baits. And that's my way to fish right there.
Does that sound familiar, Stan?
It could be.
We were fishing some channel ledges and not really producing much but small fish. And I was like, we are going to catch fish over here. Watch this. I was like, we're in a foot of water. There's no way.
I was proven wrong.
Those shallow waters are unreal. The hardest takedowns I've ever seen in my life. When you get in that foot to 3 feet, that fish will hit and take a planer board all the way across the back of the boat before you even know it's.
That's what happened to us. We heard the splash of it kind of attacking that bait and rolling over. We just heard the tail smack, and then the rod started going crazy.
And it was gone.
I'll tell you something. I love to drag, but I'm to something I want to get into, and I want to figure it out. And this man right here's got it figured out.
I think I know what you're talking about.
No bumping king right there. I want to do it, but I'm not going to try it until I actually fish with somebody and they show me what I'm doing, because I hate going out there and just wasting my time and you know, maybe tearing up gear or wasting money or whatever. Because I want to know how to do it, where to do it, when to do it. You know, not like trying to get anybody's spots. I just need to know what to look for in my area. You know, when it comes time for, you know, you need to, because there's been times I know if I knew how to bump or knew where to do it or the right way to do it, I could have did better or actually caught fish. But, you know, I knew that's what that situation called for, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to bumping.
Well, I told you what I did. I left the other rods at home, just took the bumping rod with me and got on an inside bend, real sandy bottom. And I just kept, you know, doing a 2-mile stretch until I figured it out. Because once you can bump in that sand, you will be able to feel anything on that river bottom.
I know exactly where to do it too. When you said shallow inside sandy bend, I know exactly where to do it.
So, Mike, since we since the subject was brought up, in just a couple quick sentences, when would you say? Well, what's the basically for anybody out there that doesn't know what bumping is? Just a quick description, and when would you say the best time to bump is?
Well, I can answer the win for him on that. The win is all.
I would honestly say the best time to do it would be coming into springtime when the water's starting to warm up, when the fish first start to get active. Around here, that's going to be April, May for us. And a quick description of bumping is just letting the boat drift backwards with the current, slowing it down with the trolling motor, and you're putting a small enough sinker on to where you can bump a bait about 100 yards back behind the boat. Anybody got any questions? You can hit me on Messenger or whatever.
So you're constantly moving. You're not sitting in one spot feeding your line out.
No, the boat is drifting.
How fast? Will you just cut your speed in half to whatever the current is?
That's the rule of thumb, but you know, like everything else, you got to adjust.
Sure, absolutely.
If I'm in 2 mile an hour current and I cut it down to 1 mile an hour and nothing's happening, I will, run them batteries down even more. I'll turn it up and I'll cut it down to like 0.6, 0.7. And you never know that point, from 1.2 to 0.7 catch fish.
And you put out 100 yards of line, and you're just you're holding on to that 100 yards, not letting any more out, and you're just sitting there working.
Sometimes you got to let more out. Sometimes you got to reel in. When you're going up and down them humps, you'll get to where you start feeling, when you're coming up, because you got to reel in a little bit. Then you start going back down the other side of it. You got to let back out.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I've never had it explained to me, like that. I like that. But we're definitely going to have to go do it.
And we've had some more awesome people come in. If there is any other questions for Joe, make sure you put them in there. Just put a little question mark or something so I can see it. Because Joe he's not able to read chat. So if you are asking him anything, I'm trying to see it for him. We had some more awesome people come in. There's Roger. My brother Roger, Muskrat Adventures is out there. How's it going? Country Catfish with Chuck. Lance McCoo guy, Hawaiian Fisherman. How's it going? Epic Catfish is saying, just say no to bumping.
Yeah, I just say whenever you go to some of these major tournaments and you look around at all them guys bringing in them monsters, and you ask them what they're doing, every one of them's out there bumping.
And I can see I'm telling you, there's times in tournaments dragging ain't working, drifting ain't working, anchoring ain't working. And I've seen times I know that if I was efficient at bumping, that I probably would have did better. And that's something I've never did. And when I do something, I want to do it to the best of my ability. I don't want to leave excuses, and for me, not knowing how to bump, that's just, I'm lacking on that part. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm waiting for Lou to make a bump and run.
Lou's in chat.
Is he? I ordered the medium heavy. From him. I may be I'm fairly certain I'm going to put my seekers down. They're a beautiful rod.
Yeah. It's all Uncle Lou for me, baby.
Right. I want a bumping rod from Mike, but what we planned on doing was donating that to the children's scholarship for the New Amsterdam Boaters Club. But it worked out. He had an emergency he had to take care of, so we couldn't get down there. So whenever we're able to do that again, that's what we're going to do with that. And we're going to do with that, and we're going to raffle it off for the kids' scholarship, because I'm all about the kids. I don't mind giving.
That's awesome. Carolina Real Screamers asked, Joe, where do you normally fish?
It depends on time of year. In the summertime, you're going to find me on the lake a lot, because I love catching flatheads, and I love dragging for channel cats. In the wintertime, I'm going to, if the tributaries are right and the conditions are right, and what I mean by right, I love fishing floodwater. If I got floodwater and if it's been up long enough, you're going to catch me. You might catch me miles up a small creek or tributary somewhere that you can barely get to it, because the longer that water's backed up, the more time fish have to move in there, and then that's when I go target them. Because generally speaking, your tributaries are 4 to 6 degrees warmer than your main body of water, and the bait moves up there, and big fish follow, because they can't really sustain themselves in floodwaters, so they move up the tributaries, and I follow them.
So we've got Uncle Lou out there. Guy in Dot Whiskers, how you doing? Bob Troxel, how are you? Peel and Drag Catfishing is out there. Good to see you.
Mr. Peeling. I ain't seen that man in a while. Good old boy.
And, I think, Epic's talking about, he said, that's tongue-in-cheek. Somebody can prove to me bumping puts more monsters in the boat consistently than he's in. And You know, I think a lot of times it's what you're most comfortable with works out best for you.
That's
And
what
we
I
should
was
all be
getting ready
trying,
to say.
you know, we should all be trying maybe to expand horizons with some things, but
Guys, there's no magic bait. There's no magic way of fishing. There's no magic body of water. There's not. It's all what you're comfortable in. You know, it boils down to fish eat fish. You know, I never use skipjack. I don't like them. I think they're nasty little boogers. I like to catch them. I love to catch them. I will not use skipjack. You know, everybody knows I use red horse suckers. I go out of my way to find them. I would probably burn down a whole forest if I couldn't find red horse suckers if I knew that was what it was going to take to get to them, because that's my go-to bait.
yeah.
You know, some people like chicken liver. Use what you're comfortable with. Most important, you know, Chris Souders put a video out the other day. Fish and have fun. Fish, have fun. Do what you're confident with. And have fun doing it.
See, I'm kind of the opposite on that. With that,
No fun, all business.
go
Bob,
out.
no, it's not hot. It's not happening, Bob. Bob Troxel. We need to get Joe in a yak. Not happening.
I've been trying for years.
You'll see me out there with little floaties on my arms and stuff.
I did see a question that rolled through chat, and it was asking about the length of a bumping rod. I personally use a 7 foot, but the new ones that B&M came out with are 7'6", and I used it a few times, and I don't think that 6 inches makes any difference. Uncle Lou, he might have an input on that since he's making some. So
Is he making some now?
I thought so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
He said in chat that he had them ordered. They should be here around February.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So did we pre-order?
Uncle Lou, I don't believe he's taking any pre-orders, just because you never know with shipping containers and shipping what's going to happen. So that was what I heard
Might be
last.
late.
Yeah, he said they will be here probably February to March. They're ordered already. That was it.
So
Yeah, I know a bunch of people waiting for it.
while I was at,
And you know the other thing. Oh, go ahead.
while I was at CatCon, everybody's talking about the length on the bumping rods. I checked out several different bumping rods. They had some that were 7 foot, some that were 7'2", some that were 7'6". I seen a couple that were 8 foot. And after 2 days of walking around checking out bumping rods, I went with a 7'6". I mean, it just felt natural in my hand. But now I may go out and try to do some bumping and bump with Mike one day, say, and swap over and pick up one of his rods and change that. I've never actually been bumping with a bumping rod to make that decision. And that's what most tackle comes down to, is the guy that's using its preference, what feels best to you. So if I was going to go out and start bumping, I would go with somebody like Mike and try different things to see what I like better before I spent some money.
I've been lucky enough to fish with guys that's had the Warrior, back when the Warrior Cat was Warrior Cat. I don't know, it's something different now, and I got some buddies that had some the black rods, Big Cat Fevers.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that I can't remember the name of it, but they made a special bumping rod just for him, and he caught a good fish on it. It was a good rod. But I don't know if I've just had that B&M in my hand for so long that that's just what I'm comfortable with. But all those other rods is just felt a little bit heavier to me.
That's why I used the Whisker Seekers for the longest time, was because I thought the Big Cat Fevers and the TWCs, for me, they were just heavier. I'm not a big guy, and the way I lug stuff around through the woods and everything, you know, the Whisker Seekers, they were lighter. They got a heck of a backbone on them. I've hauled some big fish up out of some nasty water with them, and for me, they just, you know, they were lighter and worked better. So, you know, I'd like to say preference. It's all what you prefer.
And if I'm gonna be out there all day and I know I'm just gonna be bumping, I want that rod and reel to be as light as it possibly can be. I mean, you get tired of this hand, you can switch to this hand, but then you pull it back over. I mean, if you know that's the way you're going to fish all day, you want that to be light. And
I agree 100% on that.
Muskrat Adventures is saying, Joe, great to see you, buddy.
I haven't seen him in a long time. It's probably been a couple cat cons. Well, they didn't have the cat con here last year, so it's the one before that. I've been out of the loop, man.
And I hope I'm saying it right. I'm not sure, but Guy and Dot Whiskers says, Joe, have a Facebook page. Do you have a Facebook page?
I used to. I used to. I don't anymore. I just have my YouTube channel. Be quiet, Ryan.
Ain't going there, Joe.
Speaking of the YouTube channel, if I don't know if there's any moderators out there, but if somebody could drop Surviving with 812 Catfish, and somebody could drop Joe's link out there. Ryan, who's becoming a professional live streamer now, has the link out in the description for Joe's channel. So if it doesn't get dropped out there, out in the description is Joe's channel link. Obviously, you want to try to get some people over there, and you won't be disappointed. You'll see yourself some monsters. You'll learn a few things. He's got an awesome, awesome channel over there. We had some more awesome people come in. We've got, where did they go? Water and Woods, how you doing? 24 people still watching. Mike Irvin, Sampy's out there. Okay.
Joe,
And we are thank you, Palmetto and Dan, for dropping Joe's link. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before we end this? The bait shop's about to come on with Fishing with the Chad, and I don't want to run over on him.
Guys, I just appreciate y'all having me in here. You know, I haven't put out videos in a while, and I know I've kind of sat back in the shadows for a little bit, you know, and it makes me feel good. You guys, you know, you had me on here, and I get to see Mike, get to meet some new people. Stan, I've never talked to Stan. Forgive me, I'm not good with names. What's Grand Mountain?
Green Machine. That's Green Machine Outdoors. That's my good friend Dan. We fish here together on the mighty James River.
Yeah, it's fun hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I've been friends with Mike for a long time. You know, and friends with Ryan. It's just good to meet new people and talk about fishing. You know, I haven't been able to do that in a while. You know,
well, you're definitely in the right spot to talk about fishing here. That's for sure.
Right.
I don't know anybody like to talk about fishing.
I
don't know.
I can't think of anybody.
No, I should be home. You know, should be home tomorrow night, guys. So then I'm fixing to get some stuff going. It's got to be the right time. You know what I'm saying? But it's coming soon. It's definitely coming. I didn't start this with intentions of quitting.
My Facebook is just my name, but I do have a YouTube channel, and the professional live streamer that Ryan is turning into, he actually has my YouTube channel link out in the description as well. But yeah, I am willing to, we'll have to, right when we get off of here, I'll have to give you my information, Joe. You ever want to talk about catfishing or fishing in general, anything, I am always willing to talk fishing, that's for sure.
Well, during the week, I've got nothing to do but sit on my butt and hold this steering wheel. So I'm always available most times.
Epic says, these are all great dudes, even if they're bumpers. Oh my goodness.
Guys, well, we're running over into Fishing with Chad. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Chad, all my guests for coming in. Thank Joe, Mike, and thank y'all for the show. Y'all check out Joe's channel, and Dan, Mike. We'll see you Thursday.
See you, Joe. See you guys.
Take care, Mike, and everybody. Ryan, good talking to you.